Hello, welcome to this week's paint along. And we're going to continue working on the NMM. And I think today we'll work on the lantern here. So remember last week we already kind of started off by getting everything that we were doing as NMM base coated with that darkest shadow. So I'm coming right in with the, like, basically call it a second shadow. It's about 2 to 3 mix of gray liner to cloudy gray. And then I add in about 2 drops of water. Just move right along to the next. And if you ever end up completely covering up your shadows, you can always bring your shadows back in. That's really common to have to do, so don't feel bad if you don't get it perfect on the first try. The more you do NMM, the more you'll be able to kind of just go off of, okay, that looks right. It does take a little bit of practice and being able, paying attention to how light hits shiny surfaces in the real world to be able to get a good idea or instinct about where the shines would be. And the lantern is very rounded, so you want to remember that we've only got half of it showing, so I'm going to do highlight here, and then it seems about right, especially with shadows are going to be over here. That right here would be where the shine is gonna, the other shiny. Is gonna be. It's okay if it's not like perfectly blended from the get-go. You can always just kind of, if you want to call it a cheat, get things decently painted on. Like this isn't really all that bad of blending, I would say. And then and get your highlights in, and then you can take your mid-tone color and do a glaze, make a glaze out of that, and just go over everything. And that's going to shore up and fix quite a bit of the blending. And with the pure white highlight. I'm just going to go ahead and take a brush full of my mid-tone gray and then a brush full of water, mix that together, and that'll make a light glaze. So I can just go ahead and show you. And you might have to like touch up some shadows, especially if you end up doing kind of more of a heavier glaze. Just make sure you don't let anything pool into crevices because we're doing a glaze, not a wash. So we do not want it. We don't want it to pool anywhere. Add some shadows back in. Like I said, don't beat yourself up if you think you have to go back and forth. Do a little wet blending to kind of help blend that in. That just means you're doing wet on wet paint instead of painting and letting that layer dry and then painting over it. You're painting it while the previous layer is still wet. That is that's a little bit more blended. And there we go. There is a NMM lantern, and you could, if you really wanted to, try and do sort of a glowing thing. This is actually set in, so it's gonna be difficult because this is all in shadow. So you're gonna have to really work to make a glow effect really actually look like a glow effect without just putting a light in it. So that is why I'm not doing anything other than just the NMM. So there you go. So hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week. Bye.